dokie. Well, let's hope this is all going well. Say good evening to Twitch Universe. Hi, welcome to Arctic's Empire. I'm Arctic. Today is a new build. This is a traditional build again. We'll just go over, this was the last one. I'm quite happy, I like it, but then, you know, I'm a big fan of the Technic sets. It's a little rough in its operation, but it does work. Now at some point I am going to put a motor in it. Yeah, I'm going to put a motor in it at some point. Oh, see, this is where I am not. Oh well. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. So, where was I? Something about cluing in. Oh, whatever. Okay. Oh, right. Cameras. I keep forgetting to consider and keep in mind at all times what you, the viewer, gets to see. Make sure everything's clear. Okay, so yeah. So eventually I'm going to put a motor in that. But that will be after we've done the Technic, this Lego is Lava build of this particular model. This will be the first one. So I'm just going to leave that in one piece as it is for now. I'm just going to put that aside. So now we're going to work on the second one, which you can see pictures of on the screen. And ta-da! This one's bigger. This one's twice as many pieces. We got, yeah, this is about twice as many pieces. So I picked this up at a liquidator for $115. Retails for $240. You can usually pick it up for around $170 to $180. And I know as of yesterday where there's another one, and it's going for $120. So I'm tempted. So this is going to be a traditional build. Then I will take this one apart, and then I'm going to use this for parts because I actually already have one of these. The box is still in mint condition. This one's all banged up and creased. Best I can tell, the box is still sealed, original. So yeah, this one will be for parts, for making the tools necessary to do Technic builds as lava. That is something I've learned since I started this with the city sets, is that certain build choices, the way they want to construct something and the way they want things to be put together and assembled, tools are necessary. Just using pair of pliers and tweezers is not the best solution. So specialized tools made of Lego are the way to go. So I have some tools in mind that I've been developing slightly in my head, so there'll be more of that. So we're gonna open this up and see what's in it. Now, we apparently don't have anyone in here yet, but hopefully that will change tonight. I've noticed that generally there are no brick builders on a Friday. Why'd I open both sides? I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? Let's... This box over here, that's meant for tools, building tools. Oh, look at that. More stickers, which I will not be using. And the bags are not numbered, again. Which means this build is going to be a little more chaotic than I initially anticipated. Look at all that cool stuff. There's still stuff in here. This set is not small. Okay. Just put that on the floor. Tonight I'm probably going to run till about 11:30, maybe midnight. So yeah, as I've said before, I prefer my builds to be a little shorter. I don't want to marathon through it and sit down and get the entire thing done in a single seating in a single stream. So I normally want to run between 2 to 3 hours and see how long it takes. Now, the last build, I think, I didn't check, so I don't know exactly, but roughly 8 hours. I think it's roughly 8 or 9 hours. I'm guessing about 16 hours for this. The other set, as a lava set, I think it'll take me about 40. It's my guess. So in terms of episodes, I've got plenty of streaming time to fill with just that one build. Okay, so let's see what we've got. I don't have a set system for organizing parts. I unfortunately do not have the amazing setups that other people do, in which they can just take all the pieces, separate them, and sort them, and go on from there. So I essentially need to be able to put everything in somewhere and then just figure out where's what I need, when I need. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Just in general, or specifically about this Lego's Lava, which, as I said, the previous set is going to be, and at some point this will also be a lava build. Now, I know from experience the tractor treads are not difficult to assemble. You just lie it flat and you pop one on top and snap it, another one on top, and then snap, 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 snap. So yeah, the treads go together with very easily. Yeah, they go together well. Yeah, they're not a concern. So that I can tell I don't need that till a specific time, so we can set that aside. Okay, big body panels. This is all structure of the cab, I'm thinking. Although I do have differential gears, so part of the drivetrain and the engine blocker in there. Now, let's take care of the small pieces. So, small pieces. And you classify, and so do you. So do you. I've got universal joints, so that's part of the steering and the drivetrain. Yeah, okay. More small pieces. And more small pieces. Damn. I don't think I have enough room for everything. Oh, let's get this thing out. I've rearranged the work surface again, hoping to find a better method and arrangement. Okay, well, I'm just going to put these up here because I don't know when I need them, but there's no point in having them in the way. Let's see. Structural pieces, structure. Or should I say detail? The cab and the bed of the truck I would consider a detail. And then there's structured stuff. See, I got more little bags. Damn. If we can actually flip this. Yeah, I got gears in here. I have part of a rack. I have the rack. I find it hard to believe the rack and pinion steering in this thing is that big. So this is for something else. It's fun trying to guess where some of these parts are going to go, especially parts that I'm not familiar with. Up until this last set, I haven't put a Technic set together in at least 12 years. So they've added stuff to the possible types of parts that they've developed. Long red axles, long yellow axles, never seen. I've seen these before, but never in black. Dolly wheels I've seen before, but this piece, I've never seen that before. All kinds of stuff. Oh, suspension. It's part of the suspension system. Okay, now I'm just debating. Open all the bags or separate things. So what I'm going to do actually is let's take a look at the book. It's a little bigger than the last one, but that makes sense. I also downloaded the instructions for the B, the alternate build of this, as well as the alternate build of this. It's a type of forklift I think you see on construction sites. So it's got a mast, well, not a mast, it pivots at the back of the unit up, and then it telescopes out. I've seen them on construction sites, so I guess that's their main use. So that is the alternate of this, of that particular set. And this, it's an Arctic Snowcat is the alternate build of this one. I took a quick look at just simple pictures of it. I think one of the images will show the back of the box, and that will show you what the alternate build is. Now, I haven't decided if alt builds will be as lava as well. I mean, it's possible, because certain techniques might vary from one to the other. So there might be a challenge in a B build that doesn't present itself in the main. So let's take a look at what I'm so used to doing this as lava that I keep thinking I can't touch anything. Didn't take me long. It just, oh, I can't touch that. It's lava. I'm my own worst enemy in that, I guess. Okay. Okay. That's my main system. Apparently my mouse has disconnected again, which is a shame, because I've owned 4 Razer Naga mice. The first one short-circuited with a static discharge. The second one, the left button, the flange that pushes the button, it snapped off. The third one I currently have here. This is a Chroma wireless. It's currently plugged in. I haven't run it wireless in some time, but I'll probably end up doing that very soon. And I have the second generation of a Naga that I use right now, and somewhere in the core there's a slight break. So I think what I might do is do a show where I'm going to pull the first 2 mice apart, put one together. I figure all I need to do is swap the circuit boards out, or just switch the casings. If I switch the case, I might have a fully functional Naga, which would make 3, and then with the cord left over, I'll fix my main one, swap the cords out, and that should give me 3 fully functional Nagas. I only need 2. I might decide to program additional functions into this one for streaming, but I have a stream deck, which I have yet to actually incorporate into the show. After a while, I stopped using it. Okay. I'm hoping someone pops by to let me know how the volume is this time. I've only just learned that what I set my headphone volume at doesn't necessarily tell me what you're hearing. So, actually, seeing as we're here, we might as well let you have a look at what I'm looking at least a better view of it. I think what we're going to do is we're going to separate the smaller bags into 5 piles. So yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do for all of that. And then these bags, I think for the most part, it looks like they'll fit in these smaller trays. Should fit on the desk. Okay, let's see. So that's 14 I'm on. So I'm just looking at this now. And I just remembered I forgot to post notices on Discord, I suppose Twitter. Although I don't think I have any followers. I think I have 3 followers on Twitter. And those are people I'm following who were kind enough to return the follow. So it's not like there are a lot of people out there just waiting to see me post and say, hey, he's doing a show. Drop everything and show up. No, that's not going to happen. I'm also debating on later tonight if I might do another witching hour. Probably would be what's it called? They Hunger, which is a Half-Life mod. That's 19, 20 years old. It's a 3-part trilogy. Came out in 3 parts, 1 each year. And I'm not sure how far I'm through it. But that's one of the shows I do during the witching hour. I think tomorrow I'll be doing Viscera Cleanup Detail, which is meant to be more of a social time on the stream. Everyone who wants to join in. I have to figure it out, but up to 36 people can play. So between that and I guess hopefully sort of Discord running, people can chat and talk about TV and movies and whatever topics people feel like talking about. And clean up a lot of blood, guts, and viscera, like one would want to do on a Saturday evening. I mean, generally you clean up the mess on the Sunday because you've created all the mayhem on a Saturday, but that's kind of the scheduling thing I'm looking at now is viscera cleanup detail, social party every Saturday night. That's part of the witching hour, so by rights it starts at midnight. I'm still debating if I'm going to hold to a midnight thing. Part of me wants to, but in terms of a normal daywalker schedule for my actual life, I'm not sure I should push things later. I might have to pretend the witching hour starts a little earlier in my zone. Unfortunately for where I live, I cannot bump it back 2 hours because that time zone's in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, so once people realize I live just outside of Toronto, Canada, a 2-hour time difference is, yeah. We are an hour and a half past Newfoundland, so. And no one's going to believe there's high-speed internet out in the middle of the ocean. Although I could do this with a couple of satellite uplinks, maybe? So the motor goes on quick. I recall in some cases the motor goes on late in the build. Now those sets are 15 years old, if not more. Now, what else? Is that 64? These parts of the suspension should be a wishbone suspension, I believe. There's actually grooves cut in the beams now. For me, that's a new type of part. Although in this case, it's not actually being used for steering. Oh, right. This has a functioning winch on the front. So I'm guessing there's a gearbox of some sort that allows power to be inputted in one spot, and then you can redirect it, I guess, to the wheels, to the winch. Not sure if there's any other features that are motorized. Now this set does not come with a motor, but I have a bunch of sets that do include motors. So at some point, I wouldn't mind checking that out. I own the old Lego motors from about 40 years ago, so it's that odd block, about that long, about that tall, and tapers on each end. I think I have a black one and a yellow one. I think I only have 2 of those, and the drives, they're 2 splines on each end, one on each end. So yeah, the small motors that they all use now, I've never actually used one. I haven't actually held one in my hand yet, so I haven't opened any of those sets. I've been collecting modern Technic sets for 4 or 5 years, I think. So I have like 12 sets in my room that I haven't even opened the boxes yet. This was one of them. And as I said, yeah, I've got 2 of these. The one has a box in mint condition. I might hold on to that one, and I know where I can find another one of these for $120, so I might pick it up because I'm seeing a lot of pieces that would be very helpful for building tools, jigs and stands. Most of my Lego is all in its original sets. It's all organized that way. So I have some spare parts because I bought some stuff in bulk, but everything else is actually in a set. So I don't have, I can't just grab stuff and put it together. So I'm thinking this set and the second one will probably be cannibalized for tools, while keeping all the other sets together as themselves, as single units. I don't have the storage to be able to break everything down into individual components and group them that way. I'd love to, but I don't have the storage. I don't have the room. I mean, I'm in my living room right now. Normally I have a green screen up, but I'm working on, I have the double post, which works fine, but moving it in and out of position can be a bit of a pain because the posts are so far apart. You can only move one side up and then another side. You have to walk it into its position and then shift it back and forth, left to right. It's fallen over on occasion, so it's a little chaotic. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and use one stand. Just run it as a T-bar. I think I just need some kind of a clamp to go on top of the stand. Put the crossbar in. The one that's normally there, it shortens. It's a sectional collapsible. And then I'm going to throw a pool noodle over top, so the wing nut doesn't get in the way. So that's my current plan for a green screen. But considering, yeah, I'm working with my laptop right now, and I'm running at 99%, 100%. I haven't lost any frames yet, which is nice. But yeah, my system really is not handling this well. Why are there two of those? That's not right. I don't know. Huh. I actually took advantage of Black Friday and bought most of the parts for a new system. So I'll retire the laptop for mobile work only, because I have projects for streaming that take advantage of the mobile aspect of a laptop. My current gaming system becomes the streaming system, and the new system I'm building becomes my gaming system. So hopefully in the next week I'll have my new computer up and running. I will then migrate the soon-to-be streaming system in here, and that should allow me, well, it should save me a lot of headaches and a lot of problems, because I'm constantly taxing the system to its limits. So hence I'm not doing any green screens. I would like to get back into it because I just like the look of it. I mean, right now I think behind me you can see one or two of my monitors and a bit of clutter, so it's not exactly professional. I mean, if I had a really cool background, like a whole bunch of Lego sets and whatnot, I'd go with that. But no, it's just in my living room. It's the only place that had enough room to do any of this. Yeah, there's the winch. On the excavator build, there were a number of instances of beams with multiple pins, so to line things up to get them to seat themselves properly was definitely a challenge, and one I haven't had to deal with yet as a lava build, but it looks like I'm going to see that here as well. So I see lots of stands or jigs for these builds to be able to orient whatever it is I'm working on, so I can always push pieces into place downwards. I don't want any lateral movement, and at some point I'm probably going to have to build some kind of a set of pliers, but more like a pair of tongs, something with a wider stance to it to be able to put pieces in. And I also have to build something to grip the parts, or grip the sub-assembly, whatever I'm working on, which is what this is for. This is a crude version of it, but a beam can fit, two beams can fit straight through there, and then you can pick up the part. That also allows, because if you hook these two pins into the side of a beam, and you can drop this, if there's a gap, it then locks into the part. I actually use that on, I think, the second last city set that I did as lava. There was 3, now there's 2. It is Friday. It does make sense. It's Friday. Not a lot of people want to be home. Okay. Maybe we should just try that. Let's put this over there and these little black pieces with the, it's got a pin, and then I'm not sure what I would call that. The connector for a pin. They are really tight fits when you put them into a beam. They're very tight socket. Billions and billions of blue pins. Both the splines. Hey, look at them all. Wow. So I think I generally call these triple blue pins. Because three beams. It's the width of 3 beams. So there's a bag dedicated just to the triple blue pins. Then your typical. So I just call these black pins because they're double width, but I just call them black pins. So I have. See, now that's weird. There are 2 bags of it. I wouldn't be surprised if it, no. Doesn't appear to be any more. Here are the blue pins. Here are the beams. These are all half beams. Yeah, looks of it. Gray axles, and then these things. Oh, yeah. There's a couple of. No, okay, what that is. There's a double pin with a spline, which I only just saw in the last excavator set. These are completely new to me. I've never seen them before. And beige pins with splines with an axle. I've never seen gray until the excavator set. Nothing bizarre in there. That's all. Nothing new. Doesn't appear to be anything new in there. Here are the connecting rods for the pistons for the motor. CV joint for the 4-wheel drive. Like 4-track drive, I guess in this case. Oh, there's something I haven't seen. A beige triple pin. It's the first time I've seen that. And the dreaded 2 axles. These can be a real pain to get out. Which I figure is why they're notched, to help us get them out. Sometimes taking Lego apart is more difficult than putting it together. I have disassembled sets as lava. I did 3 of them, 3 of the city sets, and I won't be doing it again. Taking pieces apart is a lot harder on the parts with the tools, so yeah, I won't do it again. I've shown you can do it, and if you don't care what state the parts are in, then yeah, it's easy. But if you wish to keep your Lego in good shape, yeah, you do not want to take it apart that way. Cool. Okay, so what else? That's simple. Oh, see? Here you have to line up 2 pins to put a beam on a beam. There's another one, beam on a beam. 2 pins, lining them up. Sometimes it's difficult. They don't want to line up. You end up fighting with it. I'm also going to need something to preset the depths of axles. I mean, normally I just take the piece and press it on the table to get the right distance, but as lava, don't really want to be doing that. So yeah, I have to figure out a way to set a pre-depth. guessing that's part of the drivetrain. Well, it might not be. There are 396 pages to this. This is a big set. But this isn't the biggest one I have. Let's see if they show it. They might not. Oh, yeah, see? Okay. I have the truck, and I just bought this. The airplane, the fighter. I got that at a liquidation store for half price. This is the one, this is the current set. So yeah, I have that. But I have the big bucket shovel excavator, the 4,000 piece one. I figure it's probably maybe 2 feet long, and I think it's almost 2 feet tall. I'm not sure it's gonna fit on my workspace, and I really don't have many options to build a bigger one. So yeah, I'm not sure how that's gonna go. Okay. Now, fortunately, this build does not have pneumatics, so I don't have to fight with the hoses. Hoses with your hands are not a big deal, but to try assemble as lava, I'm not sure how that's going to go. Now, once you've built it, the hoses stretch, so to press them back into their fittings, looks like it'll be easier. Although I think that may be one of those moments when I have to cheat and I have to use my bare hands. Part of the point of the show really is to determine which sets you could build purely as lava and which ones you can't, and to make note when you come across those instances where at what stages you had to use your hands. Now that'll be my result, but someone else might come along and figure out a way to do a specific step without their hands in a way I never thought of, which is what I'm kind of hoping with the show, is that some people decide to take up the challenge. Okay. Now, I think we might as well get started with let's put these all in one. Let's just put these in containers. This way I can put lids on when I'm done for the day. Man, this is a lot of pins. Okay, look at them all. That's crazy. Let's just give that a home of itself. What do we got left? These are all super small items. Okay, I think we'll put these together. We haven't lost any frames yet, which is good. It is a good sign. I made a quick check to see if there were any brick builders currently streaming, and from what I could tell, no. There are a few people in the creative community and the builders, but no one from the brick community. Should I or shouldn't I? Thinking we should put those two together. These two together. I may be going to the dollar store tomorrow. Pick up more of these. That's where I got these. It's $3 for 10. And they have lids. I mean, they're not sturdy, but they don't need to be. So they seem to work just fine. Now there's a piece I've never seen before. How will that show up? I have never seen that piece before. Oh, look at this. There are more black pins. Well, why? It must have to do with the manufacturing schedule. Perhaps? Although they store everything after they build, so after they've manufactured them, so yeah, I am curious as to why they do that. There is something calming about sorting Lego. I've only got 2 red ones, so I'm going to throw them in there. Everything else, I think we'll throw in there. Now wait a minute, I've got axles. Okay, let's put short axles in here. I haven't been giving enough thought to, when I take the sets apart to then build as lava, how I'm going to group them. Like, do I just take a subsection and take it all apart and group that, or do I break it down into specifically into their individual types of parts? I mean, bagging it as separate sections makes sense on the one hand. Yeah, I think perhaps that's what we're going to make this particular stream today. Is this will be sorting stuff out for this build, and then the next time I stream Lego, I'll just get right into it, get this all built up. And of course, during the course of this build, we'll find out if this was a good idea, or if I should have just emptied the bags out into different containers, period. course, there's always the concern that not all of a specific part got sorted out. I wonder how hard it would be to build a Lego sorter. And I mean one that could literally sort everything. Now you'd have to do it in multiple passes. Design the sieve? Design the sieve to be adjustable. Change the size of the apertures and then put all the pieces in and sort it out, and then you'll end up with a pile. Put them back in and change the apertures and see if you can get it to sort. Although, when it comes to these small pieces, I don't think it's going to work out too well. It would be funny to make an arm, mechanical arm, that could actually identify parts and individually remove them and put them in their proper place. Although I do have plans on building a Lego ASMR machine. Just basically just going to be a bowl that shakes, probably, or something that just reaches in and stirs them. My phone and emails have been exploding today because it's Black Friday. Okay, that is not. Whoa. I just don't want anything to hit the floor because my floor will just eat up pieces and I will never see them again. Okay, so you guys are done. Axles. No, we'll throw all the axles in here. Seeing as the reds and the gray 3s. Yeah, it should be a gray 3. Seeing as they're already there. I'm not sure what to call these. I have not seen brown ones before. What you call that? A flanged axle? I suppose you'd call it that. I am hoping my computer build goes without any problems. This will be the first time I actually put the CPU sync on the CPU. I've never actually done it. I think the one time it was pre-done, pre-pasted, so you just slap it together. I have not actually done it with a paste, so I think that's really my only concern. Other than that, I've built a few systems, upgraded a number of them, so I am looking forward to playing games with the settings dialed right up. Now, I only went with a 1060 GTX. I was talking to a friend of mine who stays up on all the technology, and he said if you're going to run a normal 60 hertz monitor, 1080 you don't need. It's producing frames that will never see the screen. If you use a 1080, they're cranking out what, 240 frames? which is what, four times what you're going to see. And even then, can you see 60 hertz? I don't think so. You might catch something at 30, but 60, no, you can't tell any difference. So even though the parts are cheaper, just figured this system I'm going to build will be a gaming system for hopefully a year. And next Thanksgiving around Black Friday, I hope to build a proper monster one. Which at that point, it'll have an RTX graphics card, more than likely. I doubt there's much point in trying to SLI to GTX 1080s. I don't know if there'd be any call for that. Who knows, depending on the price, but yeah. So, I am looking forward to this NVM memory. I heard the throughput is just phenomenal, so running your operating system right off the motherboard like that, just bang. And I mean, I'm running a solid state cartridge, you know, the first generation of SATA's solid states, and it boots up fast. I noticed the difference right off the bat. So I'm really looking forward to see what happens when you throw in this new kind of memory. I really need to find out if we're allowed to. I read somewhere or heard someone say that you can run other people's streams during your show. You avoid the copyright problems and all that, because I guess the content sort of belongs to Twitch once you're streaming it. Because I would really like to run riff tracks in the background while doing just about anything. Well, during the builds, I would love to. I love watching that show. I've seen some of the movies 6 times now, and I still laugh. I think they're great. So it would be nice. Otherwise, I'd have to figure out how to separate that sound, which I thought I had figured out with software. I don't have the soundboard. My microphone's a USB. It's not the powered kind of thing. So, and I don't have a room, and because I'm going to end up streaming in 3 different rooms, basically. I mean, my desk here and 1 or 2 extra rooms I plan on use for streaming. So, having a fancy soundboard doesn't really work for me unless I can move it around, and I really don't feel like building a cart, attaching everything and wheeling it around the apartment. I mean, I'm probably going to have to do that with the streaming computer as it is, and I don't want to be dragging around any more cables than I have to. So I'm hoping the software sort will work the second time around. My system might have been having problems with the program, so it wasn't allowing me to separate the signals properly. Especially when, we're doing this or playing WoW and whatnot. There's no audience around, or people are just lurking. You can run something in the background just for the fun of it. Just background noise is always great. I always like, for the most part, I always like white noise. I've got axles in here, so let's get the axle out. Yeah, this is a different sort Oh, these are dolly wheels for the tracks. I'm guessing. Possibly. Yeah, that's maybe what these are. I finally made a note to start programming commands into Nightbot, because I've seen it's a very effective tool in people's streams. It's simple reminders and stuff like that. And some of the commands are fun and entertaining, so I have finally made a note and figured out some of the commands I want to add to it, as well as some of the commands that make sense. I mean, exclamation mark social, that makes sense. And then it shows all your social media connections and links. I have a couple of axles in there, but I should separate connectors. Small gears. Oh, these are for the differentials. So there's usually a differential at the front and the back. And there's a differential at each axle. So that's that's 8. That's 8 of these at least. Sometimes I like to separate long straight beams from these angled iron ones. I might actually stop using those. They take up room and I can't put a lid on it, so. Oh yeah, here it is. Dolly wheels, that's what they are. The black wheels. Okay, we've lost 0.1% frames so far, which is far better than it was. I stopped using Streamlabs OBS because it was taxing the CPU to the point where I was losing frames left, right, and center. It was terrible. Unfortunately, it looks like for Streamlabs OBS, and possibly OBS itself, they're making upgrades, and the upgrades, I guess, are conflicting with the older code and just ballooned up in terms of what it does to the resource requirement. It's just terrible. I'd like to be a little more colorful with my language, but LEGO shows are family friendly, as I think they should be. Some other shows, not so much. Although I still don't have a policy on any of that. Okay. Sorry. Let's just put that there for now. Most of this is connectors, but we do have gears, so let's keep the gears in one spot. Okay, gears are in one spot. Wheels, we'll keep in one spot. is all connectors as well. So why don't we start something for beams? Angled beams and straight beams we'll keep separate. Okay, that's a gear now. So these guys are connectors. And you guys are straight beams. And you guys are odds and ends. So it looks like I'm going to have 2 bins of connectors. Not sure what to do with this. Okay, we'll class those as beams. They're halves, but they're still beams. What do we got? I have a gear. I think that's transmission. It's part of a sliding clutch assembly, I think. I actually don't know if there's a 2-speed or a forward reverse transmission in this particular set. Too bad I didn't start streaming somewhat earlier. Might have picked up an audience from Perky. But hindsight's 2020. Okay, so these are connectors and these are not. So let's separate the connectors for now. Yeah, I don't know if I should class that as a connector or a beam. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do about that. Who is singing this? Oh, Eye of I again. I use Pretzel Rocks for music because it's all royalty free. And this band in particular, there's a few songs here that they posted, which I like. Universal joints we'll throw in with the gears for now, I guess. These are connectors. 40th anniversary beam. These are connectors. Let's throw them in there for now. There's a beam. Now these really short beams, there's not a lot. I wonder if the guys on the West Coast will be doing a build. Last time I saw them, they were just starting Hogwarts. I think they had the big version of it. They had just finished their Bugatti. And you can see the Hogwarts box just behind them. Off to the side. It's like, oh, I guess that's your next build for you. They normally stream on Saturdays, but they said they wanted to also branch into Fridays. But I don't know. They said, you know, work has unfortunately interfered with their schedule. Work comes first. Now, I was averaging 3, which is fine by me because I have yet to commit to a schedule, so my consistency has been terrible. And because of that, it's understandable that I don't have a large following. The short beams, so we'll throw them in there just for the sake. Now here's a whole lot of connectors again. Oh, okay, we'll put them in here. These are sort of beam connectors. I'm wondering if perhaps I should consider this stage of a build something to do separate, to not include. Or if I should include it as part of the regular stream of any set. It's because I don't know what to do with these yet. There may be additional sorting ahead with some of these other bins. saw something in here. Although I do have half beams, so let's put the half beams in here. Oh, I know why. These are just detailed blocks, so separate them out. Keep the more traditional pieces in one group. Antennas are detailed pieces as well, so let's put the pistons and parts of the crankshaft. Put in wheels. Wow, it's basically 11 o'clock. As Commander Tom used to say on Buffalo TV, it's 11 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? Oh, are your children in bed? He had 3. Have your children done their homework? Do you know where your children are? Are your No, I don't think there's anything about bedtime. It's just do you know where your children are? I grew up listening to that. Good old Commander Tom. I actually don't know what his last name was. I know Irv Weinstein's last name. He was the news guy for years. But Commander Tom also did the news, but I actually don't know what his last name was. He died a few years ago. I'm trying to think how long. I don't know. Well, I think I'm starting to hit that point in streaming where I have no problems just talking to myself. Which is good. Because, I mean, there are certain shows that interacting with the viewers isn't going to happen during certain stages of a stream. I have documentary, vlog, fictional shows planned, which I think in essence requires me A, stay in character for the whole thing, or to figure out a way to frame the story that interaction with the viewers works out. So I haven't figured any of that out yet. Okay, so now see, the problem is I am running out of baskets. Houston, we have a problem. Okay, then we're gonna throw all you guys in here. So I've got 2 left. This is not gonna work. Most of this can go in the other bins I have. So yeah, I might stop off at the dollar store. I got home with most of the computer parts. It turns out Amazon was selling the processor. It's an AMD Ryzen 2700X. They're actually selling it at the cheapest price. The store where I bought most of the components, they wanted $424. Amazon wants $345. The store I went to, they do price matching, but apparently online they will not do in the store. You have to call, talk to customer service or something like that. So I tried calling, but unfortunately, this was about a half an hour before the office closed. Because if I get it from Amazon for $4, I can get the CPU on Tuesday. If I just go with the free Prime delivery, I get it Thursday. But all the parts are here, so it's like, wait, Thursday? I don't really want to. So being impulsive might not be the... Yeah, so I gotta call them tomorrow and see if they will price match over the phone. Then I can go by and pick it up tomorrow. And then my only thing left to do would be operating system and fans. I have this huge case, a Coolmaster stacker. It's got 10 hard drive bays in it. It's huge. It's a full tower. It's a monster. I got to figure out fans and all that kind of stuff. And one of the curious things about it is it has the left side panel has a grill, a perforated circle in it, so you can attach a 300 millimeter fan. Unfortunately, no one makes one, at least not anymore. I can't find one. So in the store, the best they could find was a 200. I think there might have been I think it's 200. But I'm not sure how you mount a 200 millimeter fan in the case, because it's got 4 bolt holes for either an 80 or a 120 fan. The problem is the rest of the grate, or the grill, is open. So if you're pushing air in, doesn't it get pushed right back out? Or vice versa, if you redirect, like, airflow is going to come out that way. So I don't know how you're supposed to get the airflow through the thing properly. It's really weird. So I'm thinking about something in a plastic plate, just put it over on the inside, cut a hole in the center for a smaller fan, bolt it through. That way the air restriction goes straight through the fan only, and I don't have extra air flowing in and out through the rest of it. Okay, seeing as we're working with really short beams, let's just put them on there. No, here are these rubber gaskets. I wouldn't call it gasket. It's a rubber fitting. You will go. Where'd it go? Oh, there's. Put that in there. Wonder if it has something to do with steering? I've seen these used before, but I can't remember what they use them for. I think it might be a dampener, an isolation system. I mean, you don't really worry about vibration with this kind of stuff. I mean, a real vehicle, yeah. Dampeners for vibration purposes make sense, but I don't see LEGO making a point to include that in their designs. I don't know if MLG is supposed to be doing a show tonight. Okay. I don't know, guys. Oh, look at that. We'll put you in there. Okay, this might not be too tricky. Although, more dolly wheels, I guess. Well, they'd have to be. So there are 3 different types of wheels. Weird. Oh, I see. Looks like the thin black ones are for show. The actual structural parts are the silver ones. I don't think I've ever seen these before. Axles and connectors. That's a connector. That's usually a suspension connector, isn't it? Could be for steering, but they're awfully long. I've never actually separated a set before the build. I think the last time I was doing this, everything was bagged, so you grab bag 1 and essentially work with bag 1, and then you move to bag 2 and bag 3. Having things spread out in all the bags, that's different. I wonder if they do it for the sake of cost effectiveness or just a different experience in the build. Which I can see. I mean, I really don't want to rush through this. I just want to enjoy the build as it goes. So a quick, fast build, ideally I don't want. Okay, so what am I going to do with these? There's 6. These are funny odds and ends, so we'll put you in there for now. We're getting there. Okay, these are just beams, beams, beams. There's a couple gears in there. Beams, 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 beams. Now I don't have. I've got 2 left. Now, so what? We put normal straight beams in one, angled, long angled beams in the other, and then that would just leave me cylinder heads, a few odd pieces. I think we could get away with that. It occurred to me I have not added to the profile when it comes to chat. No politics, no religion. I personally have my opinions on those things and be quite serious about my opinions about it, but I don't think that's what. Well, no, I don't want this stream to be about that. I think in general I don't really want to discuss politics and religion in the show. I mean, this is where people should come just to have fun, relax. I think ideally that's what I want. I've never seen one of those before. That's cool. Look at that. I guess with the how they would normally build something like that, I guess they decided, oh, for strength, that's probably why. To build something like this out of other parts, you probably sacrifice rigidity, so they just decided, well, we'll make one. Make an all-in-one for the specific purpose. Okay, so I think any kind of beam will fit in here, which is good. Happy with that. There's an axle. just one axle in here? Why? What do we do with that? See, normally I'd expect that for steering, but look at the size of the rack. Oh, I think there's a flatbed or a tray that sits in the back of the bed of the truck. So I'm wondering if you can crank that out, because maybe that's what that's for. Although I have not seen anything else like this, so that might be the steering. I got one body panel, and these are fairly new as well. Again, I guess they make these now to improve the rigidity of the builds rather than trying to put that together. Not to mention the number of parts and all the pins you need, where it's just cheaper and easier probably just to make a specific part like that. It would be interesting to hear the discussions and debates and how the decisions are made for some of these parts. Parts being created either out of a build experience or cost-wise or integrity of the build, strength build. Looks like there might be someone here. Hi. Welcome to Arctic's Empire. I'm Arctic. I'm just prepping for a new build. This will be a traditional build. In a few weeks, I will be doing lava builds again. I have one Technic set built in the traditional way, which is this thing right here. So in about a week or two, I'm going to take it all apart, and then I'm going to rebuild it as a lava set, which means I can't use my bare hands. This set will be taken apart as well. I'm going to use this set for parts, to build tools and stands and jigs and whatever I need to do a lava build. The rules are the pieces used in the set are lava, but anything else as a tool is fine, including other Lego from other sets. You can do that, so they're not classed as Lego as lava. Sorry. Lots of beams. Awesome. More pins. Wow. I'm guessing that's what lava makes more than, that's what Lego makes more than anything else are pins. All these connecting pins. I mean, look at them all. You see that? Yeah, you should be able to see that. Skycam? Yeah, Skycam should be able to see it. Yeah, like, look at them all. And there's more. And, so. Now, I said angled or separate angled beams. Shock absorbers we'll put in the Neato pile. Now, I don't think I've seen one of these before. No, I haven't, because no, I'm pretty sure. I have Lego sets that, you know, they're more than 15 years. I don't think they include something like that. So, cool. You have to mess around with new kinds of parts. And who knows, that might be important for building a tool somewhere down the line. Okay, I'm down to 2 bags. Well, 2 big bags, and then I still got these 3 small ones to decide. And then I'm probably going to go through and maybe do a little more additional sorting. But I think this is turning out okay in terms of the way it's organized. Oh, I forgot there's a winch. So there's string, and yes, string is lava. So you have to tie the knots without using your bare hands, which I've done 3 times now. I have little hemostats for that. Well, they're not specifically for that, but I use them for that. Wheels. What in the world is that for? Okay, so I'm guessing they're turntables? Turntables for what? A quick look at the model, and I don't see why there would be turntables in the model, and 4 of them at least. That is really strange. Oops, you don't belong there, you belong there. Looks like I'm going to run out of room for the beams. I have to further sort beams by length, and a few curved. I think that is new to me as well. Okay. Last major bag to do. No, looks like it's all angled beams, so yeah, I'll probably put shorter beams in with the short beams. I just remembered a show I was thinking about. A professional Lego sorter. It would be a spoon. I think for that, I would need to have my Stream Deck up and running, so I could just blast sound effects every time I came across something in the organization I thought was wrong, and berate the owner of the set for such poor organization and lack of thought, and the inconsiderate nature and state that they sent the set to me to be organized. I think it would include a lot of bleeping of fake swearing, faux swearing. Now that's purple. That is really purple. More of those. Okay, so these are body panels, so we'll put the body panels in there. Differential. You know, I don't recall coming across that many of these. Actually, put you guys in there. So I've got 2 black and yellow shocks and 2 gray and black. No, 3, 4. Was it only 2 of the yellow ones? Engine blocks now. Put you in there. Put you in there. So, this is what I'm left with. I don't think they're all going to fit in here. Oh, maybe. Put everything on its side. feel my OCD kicking in. Okay, so that works out. It's not so much. I was watching Brick and Nick's stream yesterday, and he'd mentioned that when he started out, he streamed for a whole month, and not a single soul popped in. So I have to keep that in mind. You gotta pay your dues. Depending on the nature of your stream. I mean, there are certain streams where, yeah, geez, I wonder why they get a lot of traffic. Not thrilled with that, but it's not my company, so 'tis not much I can do about it. By rights, for some reason the cylinders look bigger. I mean, yeah, the cylinders. Yeah, the cylinder blocks look bigger. Although I don't think they are. They just seem to be. Well, actually, if I'm going to put the gears in there, I might as well take the other part of the turrets or turntables or whatever, turf them in there. Come on, there's 3, which means there's one more right here. Where are you? Where'd you go? Get out. You are quickly becoming a candidate for the diva part of the build. There we go. Which is something I'm seriously considering. During the course of a build, note if a part was really difficult to deal with, to call it a diva part. So, like sporting events and their MVPs, I might have designated parts, diva parts. Most valuable part, most annoying part. Okay, why are there 5? That can't be right. Why are there 5? Oh, wait, no. Oh, maybe. It's not exactly a spare tire on this thing, but I'm trying to remember. I think there's a name for the drive wheel for tractor treads. I think there's a specific name for it. I'm still not sure we do that. I don't know how to classify it. Yeah, never towards me. That's how things end up on the floor. We don't want anything on the floor. Okay, so few good short ones, but so I think those are what? That's a 7. That's a 7. These are 9s. So let's see if we separate the 9s. That makes enough room for everything else. No, that's an 11. No. I've been really meaning to getting back to WoW and actually raiding. I haven't raided since it wasn't Legion. It's Warlords. It's the last time I actually raided. I've run a few dungeons, but my mouse kept cutting out. No, it wasn't my mouse. My HUD would just disappear. There's a button to toggle your HUD on and off, but when it happens to me, it toggles off and it will not come back until combat's over. So in the middle of a boss, or at the beginning of a boss fight, when your HUD disappears, you're like, okay, let's see if we remember the timing. Then this, and then that. Yeah. And I really don't want to be responsible for wiping, especially on simple dungeons. That's just, you know, that's just ruining the fun for other people, and I don't think that's something I have the right to do. Okay, so I got all you guys. In you go. And then the rest of you guys. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. The rest of them are all longer beams. Now a couple more of these containers would have worked out just great. And considering how many pieces there are to the set, oh wait a minute, we're still kind of overflowing, aren't we? Okay, so this works out. Good. I can put a lid on that. So, I don't think... No, I can probably get a lid on that. Speaking of... I actually don't know where all the lids are. That works. That's good. Yeah, I don't know how long these things are going to last. I mean, the lids are nice and tight, but everything's so flimsy, so to peel it off. I imagine they're going to tear fairly soon. This, not so good. Let's move the connectors over. What the heck was that? I occasionally hear strange things in this place. Now, generally, it's probably just the age of the building. This building's almost 150 years old. The first floor is a store, so it's retail. Back in the old days, it's a 3-story building. The third floor, apparently was a schoolhouse, or at least half of it. So my apartment would have been a schoolhouse with a staircase that came up on the inside. You can see it at the front door. The way they sealed it, you can see it. So that's apparently where a staircase used to come up. So, can I not make up some room somewhere? Throw these in there. There's another one. And I think we can call that sorted. Sorted, not assorted. Well, there's nothing to be done with the beams. The beams are done. These beams are done, but I will throw that one in there. No, actually, you're going to go in there. Which is what to do with this. Now, these are connectors, so I should probably throw them in here. So, everybody goes in there, which means I can finally throw the body panels in here. And I will also throw in these wheels. And there are additional body panels in here. Differentials and the turntables. In you go. I'm just looking for the body panels. I was online yesterday and I found out Best Buy sells Lego now. Now, apparently it's online only. My guess is there's just not enough room in the stores for everything that they sell. Okay. So that is, except for these, which I don't know what I want to do. I mean, that's a lot of axles essentially. I think by rights I would want one more. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, this is 10. Damn. I was hoping one of these was doubled up, so I had one extra one I lost track of. Where are the rest of the lids? Although I do have other containers. Nothing within quick reach. Damn. Willem. Welcome to Arctic's Empire. I'm Arctic. Today is a traditional Technic build. I'm just sorting before I start. And, well, actually you can see up on the screen, this is what we're building. After I build this, I'm going to take it apart and I'm going to use it for parts to make tools to reassemble this as lava. I don't know if you've seen my lava show. That's the show that's caught people's interest. The idea that a Lego set is made of lava, which means you can't touch it with your bare hands. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't design this. This is official Lego set with pneumatics. It's just I'm still trying to figure out which controls do what. Now there's a motor that can be added, but I haven't put one on yet. That will be something I do later. Yeah. It's got steering. The steering is not very tight. It's got a bad turn radius. And there's a little plow on the front. Yeah. But yeah, I'll be taking this apart and then I'm going to put it back together as lava, which means no bare hands. For tools, you can use anything, including other Lego sets, which is what this current set I'm about to build. When I take it apart, I'll be using it for the parts to build tools. This is a prototype tool. This is meant to be able to clamp onto a part. So normally, if something's 2 beams wide, you'd clamp onto it so you can pick up the set. But yeah, that's a prototype tool. Yeah, I got a big box here of odds and ends of bulk Lego I bought. Plus, this set will be used for building the necessary tools. And hopefully, I can actually build the whole set without ever having to touch it with my bare hands. Yeah, I'm just sorting. I mean, this thing came in like 10 different bags. And unlike some other sets, they didn't group the parts as you would need them. Yeah, yeah. I don't know how many are left, but some of my this Lego's Lava might still be on Twitch. Otherwise, you can go to YouTube and you'll find I did 7 series. Usually it was 2 episodes per to build smaller city sets. I am now just getting into the real show I want to do, which is trying to do Technic sets, because by rights these would be the most difficult things to build that way. So yeah, 4 hours, 6 hours to build certain sets. So the excavator took, I think, about 8 hours to build normally. I'm thinking 30 to 40 hours to build as lava. Now that hopefully will speed up, because as I make certain tools, hopefully I can reuse them, repurpose them quickly. So once I figure out how to deal with certain steps, which often get repeated, I'll figure out a quicker way of getting that done, and then so hopefully it won't take as long. Yeah, so I'm probably only going to be around another half hour. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start the first few pages of this, and then I'm going to call it a day. I have not set when I'll do my next stream for this. Tomorrow night I'm going to do a show I'm going to call Viscera Cleanup Detail Social, which depending on if people can play, I haven't tried this yet. 36 people can play that game. I figured just chat away while cleaning up blood and guts and gore and having a good time and just socializing on Saturday nights. I'm guessing I'd probably do another Lego show on Sunday. Okay, so let's get started and see what kind of a disaster I've got with all these parts. Hopefully I remember where I put everything. Okay, so whoop. Okay, so I have splines. Damn. I have containers all over the place, but let's try that. Just give me a second. I had to step out of frame for a second. My knee is really bothering me. I'm getting surgery done in a little over a month. 6 weeks. They're going to scope my knee and hopefully I'll be better. What's big enough? You know what? Okay, so put you in there. You in there. And oh yeah. And here are the tracks to go with it. So we'll just put that there. So are you a Lego builder as well, or what brings you by? Since Twitch reorganized their category system, it's a little harder to find us. So hence I find a lot of us asking, like, how'd you find us? I mean, are you a fan of this category, or... No. Wow. Oh yeah, I've seen a few of the creators. I'm a big fan of the Technic sets. Most of what I own are. I started buying city sets. They're at the grocery store, they're cheap, they're fun to make, and I had them all over my desk at one point. But yeah, it's the Technic sets I like the most. And then when I decided I wanted to do streaming, I decided to do Lego, and I just came up with the idea of just Lego's Lava to make my stream different than everyone else's. And so far it's going well. People like it. I'm just working on a set schedule. They say when it comes to streaming, first rule is stream. Second, consistency. That's what you need. Okay, I'll figure out something with that there. Okay, yeah, I know Apple Catrox. Yeah, I've talked to him a couple times. Yeah, I've watched his stream. And Parky, I saw Parky today while he was streaming. So yeah, I've met within the streaming community. I've met them, both of them. Haven't seen a Pell. My guess though, he's in school, so he's probably exams or finishing up assignments before exams. Hey, Seek, how are you? Okay. Today's a traditional build. This I just finished yesterday. In a week or two, I'm going to take this apart and I'm going to redo this as a lava build. So I decided I want to build them the old way to enjoy them, and then I'll pull my hair out trying to do them as lava builds. Yeah, and so now I'm working on this one. I currently have two of these. One I bought, I think, from Amazon at a decent price. And then I came across another one at a liquidator for about half price. And I just came across a second one yesterday. So I might actually have three of them soon. But I'm going to use these ones for spare parts to build all the tools to do the lava build. Yeah, I haven't done a Technic lava build yet, so after building the excavator, I know there's going to be some really big problems to solve. I'm hoping I can do the build without using my hands. I mean, there's always that caveat. If there's no other way to do it, I will use my hands, but needless to say, I don't want to. Now, so I need one of those. And when I was doing the excavator, I made a number of mistakes putting it together. It's pretty bad. At one point, I made the error at 312, and I found out about the error at 395. And it took me about an hour and a half to figure out where I went wrong. Where did I put these things? No, these are odd connectors. The odd connectors went... Oh, Appel's got me on auto host. I'm pretty sure I have him on auto host too. I think he's on my list. Parky is. Brick and Nick is. I don't think who else. Which reminds me, I have to add to my list of those I host. Although it's unfortunate, auto hosting does not count towards your average for making partner or affiliate, actually. Those views don't count. As well as rating. Rating, those numbers don't affect your average. Which kind of makes sense, because a whole bunch of people could just group up and just mass rate each other all the time, and they would all make partner when, by rights, Twitch might not think they actually are eligible and valid and viable. Whoops. Okay, we can't be doing that. There we go. All that for one piece. We're just moving along. Okay, finally, we begin the first piece. And I almost did it backwards. Okay, I'm done. Wow, that was stressful. That was a lot of work. I may need a nap, guys. But now I'll try and keep going. But I don't know if I got much more in me today. I may have to rest up for tomorrow. This is the fun part now. Try and remember what I classified and organized everything into. So, So yeah, I'll be taking my time with the builds even more so now, because after the errors I made on the other build, there were 2 major ones and a few minor ones. To me, a minor one is when you can fix like just 1 step ahead or behind. Major is when you're like 30 steps away, and you have to seriously start taking things apart to swap parts out. I have a bad habit of doing that, so I'd like to get away from it. Okay. I keep forgetting to check the camera to see what you see and make sure I'm giving you the chance to see as much as possible what's going on. No. That is a gray. Fortunately, we still have the book. I downloaded the instructions for... Oh, well, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Every follow counts. Every follow is appreciated. So, we're going to go with gray. Yeah, I downloaded the instructions for the alt build of this, as well as the excavator. They should prove fun, because a lot of the times I have to refer to the book, because it's really difficult to see what Lego wants done. So sometimes you have to flip back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, to try and get an idea of the orientation. Oh, 9 bits. Cool. It's the second set of bits I've gotten since I started. Much appreciated. Thank you. And what did I say? Oh, I need... Damn, what did I do? There it is. Okay, so how is the view for you guys? Looks okay, but... Okay, we'll put that over there, so hopefully space works out. I hope. I will figure something out. During builds, you might see me stop, because I'm thinking about in the future when I have to do a lava build, how I might tackle certain steps. Okay, so I need an 8-axle. What do we got? What is this? 2, 4. That's a 7? Makes it 8. Where are... That's something I didn't see. Most of these parts are the rounded beams. They're not the rectangular ones, the hard edge ones. I don't think there's any in this set. That's weird. I remember when that's all the beams were all the hard edged. Okay. Where did they go? Not there, not there, not there, not... Shouldn't they be here? Nope, there they are. I think I just call these washers, although they're locking washers. They're not just spacers. One of those, and all the gears are here. Okay. Let's move this over here. Okay. Where am I? And there's my computer chirping at me. My other computer. My main system. Or at least it's my main system for only a few more days. I bought parts to build a new one. New AMD Ryzen 2700X processor. I can't wait. And a 1060 GTX graphics card. I'm finally going to get to play WoW with everything dialed up. I'll be able to play Fortnite without it being that little tiny window. That's why I haven't played it. Well, that and I'm going to be god awful at it, so I haven't played any of that stuff yet. So I'm looking forward to cranking up all the settings. I haven't been able to crank up settings on a computer in, damn, 6 years? 7 years? Since my graphics card got passed. I have a GTX 660 Ti. That's what I use right now. And apparently that's the bare bones for streaming. That's entry level. My laptop isn't even supposed to be used. I don't have the processing power, and my graphics card isn't up to the... I like city sets. I really do. They're, you know, I find that playing with a Technic set doesn't really work, especially when the pneumatic systems, because they're so bouncy and springy. But I really like the city sets. I've spent a lot of money on city sets. They're all over the house. I must have 20 easily, which I bought in the last 4 years. And I still, when I'm in the grocery store, I still walk by the aisle to see if they... I don't know what part of the world you're in, but I live in Canada, and I live in Ontario. And the main grocery stores, one of them is called Loblaws, or the Superstore. I call it Blah Blah Blahs, to the point where my phone actually knows that. If I put blah, it auto finishes to autocomplete. That's what it actually puts blah blah blahs. So I go by the toy section every time I'm in there for groceries, seeing if there's anything I want. Okay, so that is done, and it looks like I got it right. Okay, a 4-flange axle. A blue pin, triple pin, and I think I'm starting to remember my filing system, but I'm sure it's gonna bite me in the backside soon. There we go. There's 2. I don't know how many of those I have. I think I basically have no Lego sets from the 80s and nothing really from the 90s. I stopped collecting. I do have all my original Lego, which dates late 70s. So I have Lego sets that are like 40 years old, including 2 of the first Technics. One's a front-end loader. It's only about that big. I have that, and I have that car they made. It's about that long. I have both of those still. Oh, Winnipeg? Yeah. I was trying to think. No, Appel, he's in Saskatchewan, so he's one province over. It's getting bad. Do I remember all the capitals for all the Canadian provinces? And I think I do. It's been a long time since I've had to remember. Yeah, I think tomorrow I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna buy about 20 more of these. Um, I think I paid $3 for a 10 pack at a dollar store. I love dollar stores. I mean, I'm not a shopaholic, but for 30 bucks, you can go in there and come out rather happy, buy a whole bunch of stuff. I'm kind of an impulse buyer when I go to those stores. Lots of stuff, but it's cheap. Okay, so let's put you in there. Let's put you in there. Whoops. Flip you over, flip you over. There you go. So where you live? Like, did you, like, what, Minnesota? Minnesota? I'm trying to remember the northern states just below. No, that's Ottawa. That's Ottawa. It's the capital of Ontario, but no. Apparently, historically, there's a lot of beef about that. Trying to remember how it worked. When it came to selecting a capital, the Queen of England, she picked. So I think she just had a choice between. Oh, wait a minute. She had a choice between, I think, Toronto and Montreal. I think that's what they wanted her to pick, and she chose Ottawa because it's like halfway mark between the two. So yeah, there's a. Which is funny because I mean we also got screwed on Alaska. Alaska was originally classed as part of Canada, and the states bought it from Russia, but there was a question whether or not they had any legal claim. So and then it was a British council or a judge decided in favor of the states, and that's why. Oh, you're in the Netherlands. Oh, Christ, you're close to Parky. Yeah, so by rights, well, depending how you look at it, Alaska could have actually been part of Canada, which might make us bigger than Russia at that point. I know we're the second largest country, but perhaps with Alaska, we could have. You imagine Alaska being part of Canada? I don't think they'd care too much for it. They're very independent, free-spirited people out there. So you were born and raised in the Netherlands? So your mom moved to Europe, or? Oh, okay. Do we have that right? I think we do. Cool. Oh, I think, is this the winch? This might be the winch assembly. Oh, there's more people here. Cool. Hi to whoever showed up. Please feel free to say hi. This is Arctic's Empire. I'm Arctic. And today I'm doing a straightforward technical build. After this build is done, I'm going to take this apart. I'm going to take apart the previous set I just did. And I'm going to redo that excavator as lava. That's my main show for LEGO content, is this LEGO's lava, which means I build a set without touching it with my bare hands. So I'm just enjoying the Technic builds the old-fashioned way because I really enjoy them, and I will leave the fake cursing and swearing for the technical lava builds later on. Yeah, it's funny in Canada, considering how big Canada is, and the vast majority of us all live along the border of the U.S. Yeah, there's what? Oh, is it 3,000 kilometers across? I can't remember. I can imagine. I mean, you catch the news, you catch TV shows and whatnot, and your little cobblestone roads and your big turn roundabouts, I think you call them. I think that's what they call them in England. I don't know if I'd handle traveling in Europe very well. I don't drive much now. I haven't. I used to deliver pizzas, and yeah, I've lost my love of driving for the most part. Ah, see? This is where the things I have to figure out is a spacer for a lava build. That way I can set the depth of an axle properly right off the bat, rather than having to try and later on try and push it through a little farther or try and center it better. That and diesel vehicles are big in Europe because it's so much cheaper. Well, I was walking through a mall here and a gentleman from Europe asked me about my truck. And I drive a Dakota, and he had said something about he wanted to buy one for driving in Europe. And I think he wanted to know if they came in diesel. He wanted a diesel engine for it, and here no, they don't. But I'm not sure if they were going to release the truck in Europe with a diesel engine instead. Because I'd heard, yeah, it's really expensive for fuel in Europe. It's strange. Years ago, diesel was a third the price of normal gasoline, and now they're on par. I remember when they raised the price, so it's usually on par with gas, and you get what, twice the distance out of a liter of diesel versus a liter of gasoline. Not a lot of diesel stations around. There's a few more than there used to be, but still, have to be careful. Okay. Man, I need two of them. Two of them. One of you. And, oh, man. Yeah, I'm not sure my organization methodology is working out all that great here. Oh, there we go. So, this looks like it's going to be a repeat of the last one. I always worry about alignment problems when you push a piece in, because as lava, you can't just finagle it this way. Yeah, yeah. I know a euro and the pound are usually about roughly twice what a Canadian dollar is in value. Now, Parky was asking, apparently in Europe they do have a Black Friday sale, but he says, like, it's not the same as here. Whereas things go on tremendous discounts, whereas in Europe, you know, it's basically the same price it was the week before. I mean, that's why I bought the parts for my computer, because it was Black Friday, and I haven't built a new system for myself in 7 years, 8. That's how old my system is. I keep forgetting to look up how long a GTX 660 is, how long it's been out. Okay, so why is it binding up? Oh, that's why. Okay. I always wonder the logic with some of the steps, the way they plan them. I mean, it doesn't look like these pieces that are hinged and can swivel are ever going to, so I don't know why they do that. Oh yeah. Oh, that's what the one store I went to, Canadian Computers, Canada Computers. I bought virtually everything there, but Amazon selling the AMD Ryzen 2700X for $80 cheaper. So at the moment, it looks like I have to order it through them. There's another store, apparently they're matching the price, but they're online, which means that's a delivery. And currently we have a postal rotating strike going on, so I really don't want to wait. So I gotta call the one store, because apparently they'll match price, but online must be done online. So hopefully tomorrow they can do that. But I can actually go into the store and they'll give me one. So I buy it online after arranging the price match. Then I can go in, pick it up, come home, and finally build my system. That, and I have a Windows 7 key, but it's for an upgrade or something. So I don't want to have to buy Windows 10. I'm hoping I don't have to, but by rights I have one key left. But the last time I used it, I had to install Vista, Windows Vista, then do the upgrade to 7. And then when I had to redo the system, I had to do all that nonsense all over. Apparently there's a shortcut through. You call them up and say, look, this is the situation. They'll just give me an activation key. I should have an install drive for Windows 10. Yeah, I'm just migrating all the programs I use and all of that, and then remembering all the passwords. This file goes here and this goes there and all that nonsense. I just want my computer up and running, but I know it's going to take me days longer than I would like. So I'm trying not to get too anxious about it. Oops, nope, there you are.
These are 10 things to never say on a first date. Take note.
Oh, I hate this song. Yeah, no thanks. I forgot to strike it as don't play it. Let's see. So I have lost 0.1% frames over 2.5 hours. That's good. My laptop is normally not happy playing any of this stuff. I'm looking forward to that. With the new system, my old system can do the Lego streams. At which point I can go back to putting in a green screen. Yeah, I want to put the green screen back. And probably run a few more programs in the background rather than bare bones. I mean, I'm running the Twitch app to see chat. I have a tablet running the feed as well. Some of them, but I actually make it a habit to not let the browser remember my passwords. Because if anything goes wrong, and I use a number of different passwords for different things, and it's happened where I basically lost the password and then I forgot it and I had to do something else. So I make it a habit of actually memorizing and putting in my passwords whenever I need to. Okay, so that's that. The universal joint. Okay, where are you hiding? Don't be a diva. We don't do diva parts here. And that's a 6. Actually, let's just make my life easier this way. 2, 4, 6, 8. There we go. So yeah, easy enough. I've heard about people doing that too. The problem is that if they hack that, as I understand it, they have access to everything. So the point of having multiple passwords is defeated if they're all stored in one place. Turn you around and okay. You know, there are not a lot of these locking yellow washers, but I'm going through them quick. Oh, really? Another universal joint? Come on, out of the pool. There we go. Don't be a diva. It is your time to shine and bask in the limelight. And no, I am not going to sing Limelight by Rush, even though I am Canadian. Apparently one of the members lives in this general vicinity where I live. I think it's supposed to be Geddy Lee lives up on the escarpment. I don't know if that's actually true. I know people have seen Bruce Cober in the local mall years ago. His daughter went to school in this town. So according to people, they've actually seen him. What in the world is this? I guess this is part of the winch. Okay, so okay, I don't think I've screwed up yet. But it is early in the build, unfortunately. So turn you up. Pins on the outside. Yeah, for something like that, I'd need a stand. Just have a part to hold it in place and then put the pieces in. Are you in IT security? Because multi-factor authentication is not something I think the average layman knows, or laywoman actually, layperson. I should know these things. I'm a systems analyst actually, but a non-practicing one. Did that one, so I need to do this one. Yeah, so by rights. See? Spacing is off, so trying to get the part. Okay, so I guess I was in the ballpark. There are great careers in security these days. I talked to a few people in my college. They were in the first hardcore security course program being offered by the college. They said it was a really tough program, but getting a job, no problem, and well paying too. Apparently the program was pretty well known right off the bat as hardcore. Okay, so there you are. I don't think I know what MSP stands for. Okay, so I just had that. Oh, no, you're over there. Okay, so, and, ooh, okay. I call these half pins. I keep saying I'm going to look it up with Lego to see what they officially call some of this stuff. Oh, okay. Service provider as in like internet, websites and stuff like that, or cloud services and stuff. I know there's a number of possible things that covers. It's funny that, I used to make auto parts. And so in the auto industry, the big car builders don't do a lot of that. Most of the parts of the car are made by other people. Then the sub-assemblies are put together by other companies. And then eventually those parts arrive at the big company and they assemble it. So, they keep they're doing less and less car making and just doing the final assembly. Same thing with guitars. I know Fender and I think Gibson does the same thing, whereas they'll make some of the parts in one country, but they'll assemble it in the U.S. In other cases, they make the entire thing in Mexico or in Korea or now in China. So I know they're doing the same thing with the service providers. All these computer things is, you know, the IT departments are smaller, if there's any, because they outsource all of it to other companies. Which is the thing they always said in school is, the IT department is the first thing to take a hit when budgets start getting cut, because nobody appreciates what IT does until something goes wrong. They always think that prevention isn't worth anything. So if something goes wrong, they think you can fix it. It doesn't work that way. You can run into a lot of serious problems if you don't put in the prevention efforts. So I just sit back and I wait to hear more and more about how companies are learning you have to get into the preventative part, stay on top of problems. So you need an IT department. And some guy who plays video games does not count as an expert. They might be good, or they might not have any idea what they're doing. So yeah, okay, yeah. So I'm pretty sure I understand what you do. That's a big beam. That's a 15. So what did I say? That's 9? Yep. One of those. And, oh, damn. Where'd they go? Oh, there we go. Okay, it looks like they put this in through the other side. Oh, no, wait a minute. This is the... No, okay, it has to go in this way. Unless... Yeah, okay. I worked at a company, it was an animation company, and their office, it was an outsourced office space, so they filled in the space and used up, filled up one giant room with all the equipment and did their job. But the cafeteria or whatever is the lunchroom, that was all managed by the company that at least owned the floor, I guess. So there's a bunch of companies, and I guess your internet and certain computer and IT stuff was all done by the company that you rented the space from. Oh, wait a minute. 4 down. No, that's 5. 5 down, so it's... It's 5. Wait a minute, what the heck is going on here? Ah, I see. You are in the wrong spot. Okay, so 5 down. 4 down. Oh. The instructions don't include all the cutout pieces in between each of the cylinders. Still not sure what to call them. I mean, it's a hole, but it's a sleeve. So I'm not sure what to call it. Okay. Got a whole bunch of bags just sitting here in a pile. pile. I need to work on my organizational skills for my workspace, which I am by nature a big fan of organized workspace. Okay, so somewhere down the line, I'm going to have to try and put this together as lava, and I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm going to have to figure out. Okay, so that, where are they? I think I'm discovering that these spline pins are likely to be my best friend very soon. Will that work? No, that's off. Okay, so good. Passing the buck is not a solution. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so yeah, sorry. So, okay, so okay, so gives us an idea how to tackle that problem. I keep forgetting to take pictures to remind me later of what unfortunate mishaps will be coming down the pipe. I think I'm going to finish this step, and then I'm going to call it. I've been at this almost 3 hours. Wow. I only plan on being on for about an hour and a half. Plan on being off by about 11:30, 11. Take a quick break, and then I was going to come back on and do a witching hour, which is a nighttime show, which is going to include horror, suspense, thriller games, some vlog, fictional stuff. And on Saturdays, visceral cleanup detail, social party. People just talk about whatever's on their minds while we clean up guts and gore and all kinds of stuff in the game. At least that's my plan. That was my plan, but I am in between work at the moment. I am not working in the IT field at all. I finished school quite a while ago, so a lot of the things have changed, so my skill set is not current. I suppose the closest thing to a job I have is I'm actually going to be a full-time streamer. My hope is that streaming likes me. Okay, that's wrong. That does not fit. Why? Houston, we have a problem. Because there is no way that fits. It's oriented correctly. Yeah, that does not fit. Why? Catastrophic error. Oh no. Aha. No. I see. You are in the wrong spot. Oh, wait a minute. What the hell is going on? Guys, what are you doing? That was wrong right off the bat. Yeah, oops. Okay. The pin was put in the wrong way. It was supposed to drop 2 beams, not 1. So the question is... Okay, yeah. So this was in here. That's 4? No. That was 5 and a 3? 5 and a 3 space. 5 and a 3 space. That's better. Thanks for the help, guys. Jeez. Another diagram of this might have been helpful. It's a little more level or underneath to look up so you can see that it's offset. discern from this? Okay. Well, I think we're going to call it a day. I want to thank everyone who's been in today. I'd like to thank Willem for... Willem? Yeah, it is Willem. Like the actor Willem Dafoe, because it's not William Dafoe, it's Willem. Thank you for the biddies. And thank you for hanging out. Seek was also here. I don't know if Seek is still here. Let's take this apart, because that, if I don't, I will run out of parts and I won't know why. Okay, so you go in there. You go in there. 7-inch tablet? What do you got, work? Oh, Skin Slip, how are you, man? I'm good. So, this is done. The hydraulics are a little rough, but they do work. Yeah, so it's cool. But yeah, I'm going to take this apart in about a week, and then I'm going to put it back together as lava, as a lava set. I'm just doing a second set now, just to enjoy the build, and then I'm going to take it apart, and then I'm going to use all the parts from this set to help me make tools to assemble the other set. So I don't have a lot of spare Technic parts, so 6 a.m. I keep forgetting that, you know, the internet's the internet. I mean, I'm used to watching TV with cable, like, you know, but not anymore. I spend more time watching riff tracks than anything else. I mean, there are TV shows I do watch, but I tend to binge watch that on a day or two. But otherwise, I mean, I've got riff tracks running on my main system behind me. It's a great show. I actually like a lot of the reruns. I've seen some of the movies 6 times and I still laugh. I still pick up on jokes I didn't the last 5 times. Now, I gotta find all the lids. I'm supposed to have 10 lids for all of this, but I don't. So yeah, yeah, it's only what, 8:45 out there? No, 7:45. Yeah, it's only 7:45 on the West Coast. It's early out there. Okay. I have more lids I gotta find. That's what I gotta do, is figure out what kind of viewership's out on the West Coast. Because if I do later shows, just curious as to what kind of an audience I can hope for or pray for. Okay, don't mind me. I have a bad knee, and if I sit with it bent too long, it doesn't want to straighten out. I remember that too here. Maybe not 1, 2 or 3 a.m. Went down at 3, came back on at 5. Maybe it was 4 and 5. There was no TV. Just give me a second. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I had to what I call go left. My bathroom is to the left, so when I say going left, it just means the bathroom. Seems like a polite way of saying nature calls. What the heck was I doing? I don't remember. Now, what are the odds? The lids aren't there. Where are the lids? Really, dude? You know that saying, I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached? I am definitely feeling that way right now. Oh well. So where could they be? Nope. 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 Ah, there are more bins. Just a second. I found a lid, but it's for these bigger containers. Oh well. Hey, Skin. Yeah, I forgot you were on the West Coast, so it's 7:45 out there. Like it's almost 8 o'clock for you. You got the whole night ahead of you. No, I be damned. I don't know where the lids went. Oh well. They'll turn up at some point. Well, as I said, yeah, I'm gonna log off for the night. Tomorrow I'll be doing a witching hour show. Oh, not right. Sorry, 3 hours, not 5. Dopey me. Yeah, I'm usually better at math. Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to be doing the witching hour, which will be an episode of Visceral Cleanup Detail, which is just whoever wants to will just jump in, clean up some guts and gore, and just chat about what happened in the week. That's a weekly thing I want to do, so people want to talk about games, movies, TV shows. Just to socialize and shoot the... Well, I'm not going to say it because this is supposed to be a PG show. See you, Willem. Nice to meet you again. I hope you have a good day. Yeah, because your day's just starting, too. And Sunday, I'm not sure what time I'll be doing another Lego stream to continue on with this build. I'll probably be doing it after Brick and Nick, because I watch his show. So I'll probably do my stream after him. So it'll be in the evening. Yeah, it's colder out here. I'm not sure. Where is it? I thought there was something on my watch that told me what the temperature outside was, but maybe not. Okay. Well, as I said, yeah, I'm going to call it a night. Sorry, Slip. You just got here, but yeah, I'm done. I've been streaming for just over 3 hours. Okay, so I just want to thank everyone. My name's Arctic. This is Arctic's Empire, and this was another traditional LEGO Technic build. Episode 1. Now, the question is, can I find someone? Sorry for the chaos. My laptop does not like running a browser when I'm streaming. No? Okay then. Well, I'm just going to sign off then. So say hi to everybody. Thank you for showing up.